What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today we're going to talk to you about Ethereum Classic. I want to go over some of the current data points, break it down on what's really been moving it and where I see things going from here. Before I get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that said, let's get right to it. So ETC is currently down 1.08% over this last 24 hours, although you do see a ton of money getting into ETC. So over the last 24 hours, 6.95 million. So pretty epic stuff for that. And so kicking it off, going over some data points, ETC has been doing fairly well. So it is ranked number 25 among all the coins based on market cap. So it has been improving. I think my last video, it was at 29, which kind of wasn't the best. But as you can kind of see over this last 7 days, it is outpacing a lot of coins. So it's just a nice little push and then it'll be back into where it was around the 21 to 23 range. So hopefully that should be coming later part of this week. But as I always do every video, I like to bring up this. So currently 1,258 merchants accept ETC as a form of payment. So that is up 5 in May. So that's definitely one thing that you need to watch for, is just integration in society. And that actually can be extended as well to the recent news, which has been kind of perking up the whole crypto market, and that is Ethereum. So I think in reality, a lot of other coins are starting to think it's like, well, what's next? Like, what is coming next? First it was Bitcoin ETFs, now Ethereum. So what is coming next? And logically, I think obviously ETC should be a likely candidate, at least for the foreseeable future. We'll just have to wait and see. But technically, this is giving a lot of momentum to the crypto market. And this is exactly what you wanted. Just more integration in societies, more acceptance, and then all it'll take, regrettably, is a big kind of boom within the market, and then people will just rush towards crypto. And I know that's a negative kind of mentality to have, but I think this is what a lot of people are assuming that needs to happen before you see that mass amount of kind of transitioning over. In ETC's case though, it is still heavily shorted, and this bump up that has happened over this last little bit, it was kind of as a result of a small squeeze. In the past, roughly about year and a half, there's probably been about 6 squeezes that causes ETC to go up, as you can kind of see right here. And it's been a while since there's been one in a while. So it looks like last one was in January, a small one. So on May the 19th, there was about 1.31 million in shorts returning some of their positions. And so this shows all the liquidations and whatever else. Even on the 22nd, with 2.38 million longs closing at the positions, that didn't really cause anything to the stock price. So in reality, I see that as a very, very positive thing. Fear and greed index, you do see it at 53. So people's appetite for risk is somewhat still there under the neutral category, but imagine if there's going to be rate cuts. If rate cuts do occur in the broader market, whether it be in July or September during the upcoming meetings, then this is where you could see a mass amount of rotation into crypto. So I think that's going to be a very positive thing. Then again, crypto, you have to be very patient. There's going to be a lot of volatility, and I'm going to talk about that in a second when it comes down to the technicals. But like I said, if there is a lot more positive PR associated to crypto as a whole, you can see a very nice squeeze when it comes down to ETC. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. Like I said, I wish there was more for me to talk on, but it's just a lot of speculation at this stage on what is coming next. And of course, I think a lot of people are just looking at this news and just thinking of unlimited possibilities. That's just kind of one way to put it. Aside from all of that, technicals. So with it right now at 32.02, it is trading between this pivot and this R1. As you can kind of tell, and I've brought up in the past, fib levels are very wide. So this is why you do get a lot of volatility despite there being no news, just a lot of quick swings. So $28 is going to be that next strong support, and then 33.02 is going to be that next strong resistance / target. So it's been flirting with that over this last couple of days. So definitely watch for this 33.02, because if it is able to successfully stay above this range right here, then it could easily get back to the 36s, 40s, and that's where my average is. I haven't averaged down. I still have my original position, $44. So I probably should have averaged down, but you know what? When I invested initially, I said, you know what, this is it. and I'm just going to be holding it out for years and years to come. Once there's more integration in society and whatever else, ETC will easily be back into the triple digits or possibly even higher. So let me know your thoughts on this. So just take note on a side note of some of the strong support and resistance points. But on the actual chart itself, so I'm looking at the 1 day, I'll go over the 4 and the 1 as well, but I do have the 7, 25, 100 day moving averages, Bollinger Bands. I also have the momentum and stochastic RSI. So looking on the actual chart itself, this is where things are looking fairly good. On stochastic, you do see it rather high, so it is considered somewhat overbought. But then again, that's kind of normal if there's a lot of corrections that is happening. But on the actual chart itself, it is staying above that 7 day moving average. So it wants to consolidate, but at the same time, you're getting a huge amount of capital that's causing it to go higher, which in reality is very positive. You could see higher highs, but at the same time, when it does truly consolidate, this is where you'll have massive swings. So right now, higher percentile of the Bollinger Band, and like I said, above that 7 day moving average. So the technicals are looking very, very optimistic, at least on the 1 day chart. Number of investors have been getting in slowly and steadily ever since it looks like April the 26th, but more specifically, it looks like since the 18th. So right before this nice small squeeze, a small one, of course, underlying that, because in the past, imagine if this was to occur, like a 2.49 million liquidation from shorts, or sorry, the previous day, 5.03 million. Imagine if that was to happen during all of this positive news, you could easily see 40s, 50s, or whatever else with ETC. But moving on, looking at the 4 hour chart, I always like to look at different perspectives because the 4 hour leads to the 1 day, 1 hour leads to the 4, and blah, blah, blah. But on this 4 hour chart, this is where you're seeing the consolidation. And again, it's not extreme consolidation, still in the higher percentile, but it is below that 7 day moving average. So the 4 hours looking like it's breaking down a little bit. And most likely, if I was to give a prediction based on this, I think it would consolidate probably to roughly the lower aspect right here. So around the $31 range. But then again, I could be wrong. I really like the natural growth rather than anything, because technically it going up like this, you don't really have strong support levels. So again, that's something to keep in mind, especially as well with the fib levels very wide. You pretty much have all of this as both extremes as far as the support and resistance points. On the 4 hour though, you do see a bearish deviation, but it is correcting somewhat. So it is considered somewhat oversold, and number of investors have been getting in as well on this aspect. And then just looking at the 1 hour, which again feeds to the 4 hour, this is where you're seeing kind of it just stuck in limbo, right? It's stuck between two support and resistance points. So this is where you're seeing, at least over the last 3 hours, it attempting another breakout, which again is kind of giving the 4 hour and the 1 day good data somewhat. So again, I think in reality, ETC is going to continue to break out, especially dependent on data points and everything like that. So you have GDP and also PCE coming out later this week. So that is coming out Thursday and Friday. If that data is good, then you could see more optimism associated to rate cuts, possibly as early as July, if not in September during that meeting. So if that does happen, then this will really help ETC and just crypto as a whole. So let me know your thoughts on ETC. Have you been buying? Have you been selling? What have you been doing with ETC? And what is your thoughts? What's your predictions for at least the next little bit? Do you think it's going to continue to trend up? Do you think it's going to break down back to and retest $28? Because keep in mind, if it does fail to break above that point right here, going over here, so that 3302, it will most likely consolidate and retest this pivot again if it does fail, because it has failed roughly about 3 or 4 times to get above this R1. So let me know your thoughts on ETC. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. One final thing I just wanted to share with you, it is more of a stock promotion, but nonetheless still free stuff. If you sign up for a new account with Moomoo, throw $100 at it, they give you 7 fractional shares of the Mag 7. So pretty kick-ass deal. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.